A lot of web design advice out there is either outdated, just plain wrong, or worse, bad for you and your client's business. Here are 15 brutally honest web design lessons that I've learned from 11 years of building a web design business. First, you gotta get good at the boring stuff. Layout, color, typography, and images are what matters most in web design. If you can get good at these 4 things, you're not gonna need the flashy stuff to make a great site. And listen, I think some flashy stuff is cool. I love a good animation. I've made videos about good animations, but a good animation on a site without the boring stuff covered is just tacky. So don't be afraid to build boring websites, because building the boring stuff is what actually trains you to know when things like animations add to the site rather than take away. Number 2, your client success has a lot less to do with design than we would all like to admit. Copy is the absolute biggest factor. It's like the designer Radona Dita says, design matters, but words close deals. So one of your main jobs is getting people to pay attention to those words, not distract them from it with everything else. Next, you're doing too much, mate. That's what my wife tells me. She picked that up from 4 years in Australia, but she's right. You don't need 8 colors in your color palette, 10 different design elements, and something new to look at every 100 pixels. Dial it back first and then add stuff back in only when the project actually needs it. Number 4, the best web designers are sometimes the worst paid, because knowing what a good website looks like is only part of what it takes to be a well-paid web designer. You also have to be able to communicate your value, be able to take a client through a clean process from start to finish and figure out what they really mean when they say, can you make the logo bigger? So don't just focus on the design or the code or whatever it is that you're more attracted to. Get good at these things. And by the way, if you want more of my help with that, I've got a resource that takes all 11 years of me building a web design business and puts it into one place. It's not just a course, it's SOPs, a full project management dashboard, everything that you need to find clients, win them, and deliver world-class websites. The link to join the waitlist is in the first line of the description. Number 5, if it looks good, it is good. Things like golden ratios or the rule of thirds or even the 60-30-10 color palette rule. Those are all great, but you gotta treat them like a starting point. They're useful right up until they stop you from trusting your own eye. Rules get you to competent, but knowing when to break them is what makes you a really good web designer. Number 6, and maybe the most controversial, the mobile first police need to calm down. You've probably heard someone say that about 90% of all website traffic is mobile. And maybe that's true because of mobile apps, but we're talking about websites. That hasn't been true for any of my clients. And listen, I'm not saying that mobile design isn't important. It is. It's just not the full picture. So don't just design for mobile first. Design for context first. Every screen size has a completely different set of problems. So design for each of those problems uniquely. Number 7, 85% of everyone who visits a website doesn't care about anything other than the top section of the homepage. Everything below it barely matters. So that first screen has to do 4 things really quickly. It's got to grab their attention, be crystal clear about what the site is even about, make people want to act, and then show them exactly what the next step is. If you can do all that, then they'll care much more about the rest of your website. Number 8, if everything on your homepage is important, then nothing is important. You can't make the headline big and the subhead big and the button indistinguishable. Designing is mostly deciding what gets to be loud and then forcing everything else to shut up. So give users visual cues to help them know what's important to look at through things like size or proximity or even alignment. Good old tried and true design principles. Number 9, every website has trade-offs. There's no such thing as a perfect site where features and SEO, UX, conversion rate optimization, performance, accessibility, design are all the best that they can be. Yes, if you strip a site of all of its features and design, performance going to be through the roof. But those aren't the only things that matter. Your job is to figure out the priorities for each project and then make the call. Number 10, stop trying to be original. There's nothing new under the sun. So you're going to spend a lot of wasted effort just trying to be different. Borrow ideas instead. Take what works from other people's projects, but don't just copy it. Give it your own spin. Make sure it fits the context of your projects and not somebody else's. Number 11, not every client who's willing to pay you actually needs help with their website. There's a saying that if the only tool that you have is a hammer, every problem starts looking like a nail. You gotta learn what a client's true problems are, and then what their next right step should be. And being able to do that makes you a consultant instead of a pixel pusher, and consultants get paid a lot more money. Number 12, sometimes you can't get a client's approval because you're really bad at explaining things. So stop getting frustrated when people ask for changes when you actually never justified your design decisions in the first place. You can't just be a good designer. You have to be a good communicator as well. And honestly, it doesn't take much. Just saying, I did this because of this is gonna go a long way. Number 13, no matter how long that you've been doing this, you'll miss the obvious stuff. There's only one way to figure out where all the holes in your design are: user testing. You're too close to your own work to actually see it clearly. So ask a friend or a family member to do something on your project. Ask them to sign up for a service or buy a fake product. See what they struggle with and then go fix it. Number 14, if your gut says don't take the project, then don't take it. Doesn't matter how much money that you're gonna get or how badly you actually need the project. 9 times out of 10, it will not be worth it. I know that one from very painful experiences. And finally, number 15, you don't get a medal for doing it all on your own. Could you white knuckle your way to success? Probably. But do you want to? Find some people around you to help you through the process. The absolute biggest factor to your success is having people around you to help you when you're struggling. And if you want more of my help with that, I'd love to give that to you. I've put everything that I've built for my own web design business into one resource so that you can get ahead without having to struggle it out on your own like I did. The link to join the waiting list is in the first line of the description. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget, if you don't quit, you win.